This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we're going to kick off the 2019 Homeschool Convention Training. Yay! So let me figure out how to go to the next slide. There we go. Okay, so I am Amy Cruz. So a little bit about me. I've worked at AOP almost 9 years. I got it right this time. In March, I will be here 9 years. I started in distro, and then I came over to marketing a couple years ago. So what my job is for homeschool conventions, I will coordinate everything from your hotels to your travel options, flight time, rental cars, anything that you need for traveling. I know that a lot of people aren't 6 a.m. flight flyers. Sioux Falls is limited to when we can fly out, so I do give you options as when you would prefer to leave. I'm also your point contact for any questions you might have before you attend. Okay. So let's see here. I will be your point contact for any questions you might have before you attend the show, and then at the show, everyone will have a lead, and you can turn to them while you're traveling or myself. And my goal is to make sure that you have everything you need and feel ready to attend the shows. If you don't have something, please let me know. So just a little bit about me. So what is the typical convention look like? So usually we have a pre-convention meeting about a week before your show, and it's just about your show with the people from your show. And we'll go over specifics when everybody's leaving, what your hotel is and stuff like that. And then I send you flight options about a month before you leave, and you pick which flight you'd like to go. And then some might fly, but some might drive. And I'm going through a lot of this, so it might be something you guys already know, but we actually have about half of the crew going this year that's brand new. So we want to kind of go through a lot of the stuff. It won't be as detailed as before, but kind of a review for some of you. So we're going to then fly to our destination, and then from there we want to start using rideshare, Uber, Lyft, taxi, instead of rental cars. So from there we're going to get checked into our hotel, and then I will provide the hotel a credit card authorization form, and that just says there's no need to charge your card, please charge my card, the company card. You might be asked to leave a credit card at the hotel just for incidentals, but make sure you ask for a receipt so that we can double check that they didn't charge your card. Unless you trash the room, then we're going to charge your card. But otherwise, they need to charge my company card, and then I also need that receipt so that I can turn it into accounting. So then once you get unpacked at your hotel, you're going to go to the vendor hall. Some hotels and vendor halls are the same, and some you might have to drive to or walk to. Once your lead checks you into the vendor hall, you're going to start setting up your booth, work together to set up the booth as a team. And then once the show hours start, and I'll give you those once we talk specifically about your show, when you need to be there for your show hours. During show hours, you're going to talk to customers, do demos, help with orders if needed, and always smile and have fun. That's just a generic. But I always say, if you do not come back with a convention story, did you really go to a convention? Because there's always a customer or travel issues or good or bad. It's just fun to have a good time with people that you don't typically see, whether it's your customers or your fellow employees. Here we go. All right. I don't know. Yeah, she said she can't. Okay. That's why I stopped earlier. I read it. Okay. So she's just gonna use chat. So. All right. Okay. So use button. Thank you. All right. So at the end of the show, you're going to pack up 3 to 4 pallets. Right now, I have all of our convention materials that go into your booth on 4 pallets. As you get later in the season, I see us condensing down to 3, but as of right now, to start out with, we have 4. And then you'll pack those back up, and then we'll ship on to the next location. And then after that, we'll head home, and that's a typical convention. Easy. Sounds so easy. It is.
Such a high level, that
Anyone can do it. So, what's new for 2019 convention?
What's new, Amy?
I don't know. We have interactive booths. We have 3 or more people at each show. We have free trial Monarch Box, iPad order system, large booth size, pop-up and pop-up, and new shirts. Wow! Like an explosion. So I'll talk about the interactive booth. Every show will have 3 or more reps at the show, so that'll help with the setup and takedown. We also have bigger size booths this year, so that'll help kind of be able to do zone defense, you know, on everything. We also have a Monarch free trial box that we're doing, so instead of those Monarch business cards, we're going to give them one of these. Sorry, everybody on the phone, I'm showing them. Please don't look at this part. But this will help the customer feel like they're getting something instead of just that little business card. So they'll be able to take this home and try it for free. And then we'll have these nice little stands. This will be part of the interactive booth. We have new hop-ups and pop-ups. We have a new order system, and then new gray shirts. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to get the new gray shirts back there. I've sent out a lot of them already. You can keep these. Oh, you don't have to give them back to me. But take care of them because you will need them for the convention. Any of the blue shirts, you can go ahead and keep if you have them still, but those are not to be worn during the convention, just these gray shirts. So you can use them to set up, but just work in the gray shirts. So what are the new booth layouts this year? We're going to have a 20 by 30 and a 20 by 40 booth size. And this kind of gives you just the basic layout of the 20 by 30, but this is right facing. So what does that mean versus left facing? So here's left, here's right. So our biggest thing this year is the traffic flow of the customers. The movement of customers throughout the venue is our critical aspect for this booth layout. So if you are setting up and you can see that the main entrance is going to be a flow from the right to your booth, then I want the Monarch stand to be front and center. That is the main piece of our booth, is that Monarch stand. So we want them to see that as the first thing that they see. And then the new Monarch free trial boxes, they're going to go next to the TV stand. They're not going to be scattered about kind of like those business cards we did. They're just going to be next to that Monarch station. So here's that left facing. And then the same is going to be for the 20 by 40s. It's either going to be right or left. And then we also have island setups and our end caps. And I'll kind of help you once we go through your show what one you are, so that we know. But the same thing, it's going to be that Monarch station is going to be front and center. So our interactive booth this year, we're going to have these cubes, and they're going to be kind of set up in an art station in the back of the booth where we're going to have Tanagram stickers, and then customers, kids can go up to the boxes and kind of make designs with those stickers. And then at the end of each show, send me pictures of what it all looks like, and then we're going to throw them away. But it should be fun for the kids, and yeah, for the parents to kind of look and,
Just showing.
so there's Terry showing off the cube.
Cardboard box.
So when I ship them out on the pallet, they're flat. For those of you that know, they're in the pub table boxes. But this year I did my best to remember to mark all the boxes of what's inside except the curriculum, because the curriculum kind of, I know the warehouse started and I think that they're all marked, but I know that it doesn't end up that way. But a lot of the larger boxes tell you what's inside.
Yeah, and just real quick, Amy, on this art area, so if you've been to maybe a show where, we know Becca for sure has had like a tide pool display where it was like this hands-on, come into our space. It wasn't their material, it was some third-party thing, but if they had a large booth, or maybe it was just at these big shows, but then the kids could come and play. We were like, let's do something like that, but we're going to do it at every single show. So it'll be kind of a draw, just this creative, like, what are they doing over there? In addition, of course, to our globes that are always a huge hit, but that's the idea, is this is just to add some fun and interest specifically to our booth.
So these actual stickers, the ones that are stuck onto the box,
They're there.
they're not.
Right. Yep, like she said, it'll be disposable, basically 10 boxes per show. Live art project, a community art project, sort of, and then we'll just get rid of them. Start over for the next show.
Yep. And just make sure.
Away too, if we wanted to.
True.
Hey, you could, yeah. If any mom would love
You can hide kids in them.
for a kid
Depending on the
to
size.
take it. But yeah, make sure you send me some pictures so that I can share with everybody what Arlington show people design, so. And then everybody gets carpet! Last year and the years before, not everybody was able to receive nice plush carpet. But this year, everybody's gonna get carpet, so. So we do have just a few new things, but otherwise it's the same stuff. The halo is the same, except we have a new wrap. The halo is the long, tall thing off to the right here. There's just a new wrap that's not white. And then we still have the same monarch table. You're just putting a hop-up behind it. It's kind of like that green arrow at the bottom there. And then we have a back wall hop-up that's a 10-foot, so it's a little bit bigger than our traditional ones. But it's the same frame as last year's hop-ups, where you put them together and then just flip the fabric right over top, so that'll be nice. We still have the wireless keyboard and mouse. Let's see here. All the instructions to put them up is in the pallet binder. Everything's pretty much the same, and I made sure that every show did have somebody who has done it before, so they can at least help guide. And I think with 3 people, the halo. Oh, and I got new step ladders. So they're the exact same size on both sides. So then we have Gert. Don't forget about Gert. Gert is the steamer that I named Gert because when she's working, she just makes a Gert sound. Gert, Gert. So make sure that we're clean and crisp. Take time to steam and then fold the tablecloth up correctly. There's instructions in the binder. It's pretty basic folding. That just makes sure that the next show doesn't have wrinkles. And these are past shows where we had set up and what we look like. And when a customer looks, they might not see exactly that if there's other customers, but some people do. So make sure that we look clean and crisp and we're not wrinkly. And yeah. So our pallets, I have boxed up. If you are in the Iowa office and you want to look at them, they're in the warehouse just on the left side. If you go through down this way on the left side, they're boxed up there. Everything you need to know is in this pallet binder. It has the setup instructions of the halo, the monarch counter, the folding of the tablecloth, Gert, and pretty much everything. Even the order information for the iPads and the sales pad and the pallet puzzle. The pallet puzzle, I wish that I could tell you this is where every single thing goes, but every single box is different size. I can tell you where a lot of the big stuff will go, and now that we've spread out to 4 pallets, it'll be a lot easier because one pallet is all curriculum, the other pallet is all racks, the next pallet is our supply stuff, and then our last pallet is going to be the Halo and all the pub table boxes. So it'll be a lot similar to do, but I also can't tell you these scopes go right here, this goes here. It's just kind of a puzzle. So friendly reminders that the box cutters on the top of the black and yellow supply box, and it's also on the side. And the reason for that is once the thing is all wrapped, you can't just pull that wrapping off. So the box cutters are on there so you can reach in and start unboxing or start unwrapping the pallet. Make sure that all the breakable things, and I wrote on the boxes, make sure that they stay on the top of the pallet so that they don't get damaged. Make sure they stay on the top. And all the heavier things go on the bottom, lighter things on top. It's just a good reminder. So why do we need our pallets secure? In my mind, this is what I think happens when a truck driver gets our stuff is they load it up all nice and neat, and then that truck driver drives like a crazy man, and then this is what happens. So all the pallets travel on a truck, and it's never a smooth ride. Just remember there's potholes out there, there's other pallets on the truck as well, so we want to make sure that we wrap it good. Nothing sticks over the edges of the pallet. If it does stick over the edge, it's more likely to get damaged by a forklift or another pallet that they're loading up. We're not usually the only pallets on a truck. There's also other people's pallets as well. So how do we start wrapping a pallet? Start by tying a knot in the corner of the pallet, not a box or a product of ours. Then wrap a few times without forgetting to include the corners of the pallet. And then start working your way up the pallet and around all the parts of the boxes, pulling slightly as you go. Make sure you overlap layers of shrink wrap. After everything has been wrapped up nice and snug, you can tuck that roll into the pallet. And then last is the BOL, it's the bill of lading, and the lead will have that, so you don't have to worry about that. You can remind the lead that they need that. All right, so we have the new customer order portal. So this is going to be set up before your customers. You'll need to do a few things on our side first before a customer can order. You'll need to connect to a Wi-Fi. Then also the power cord goes inside the stand itself, not just hanging out the outside. There's an actual hole that it goes through. And then you'll connect it so that it's powered up the whole time. Let's see here. There's an order here sign. They're disposable as well. So you'll put one with just a little piece of tape underneath to order here and then throw it away after each show. The order stands are in a large gray box. You kind of saw there was a huge tote on one of the pallet pictures, and you'll see it. You'll need to put the base and the face together, so you'll see that. And then, yeah, so let's get into how a customer needs to order, or how they order here. So everybody will get their own rep code, and you got to make sure that you only use your rep code and nobody else's. And when we start up, I will send you that, by the way. We're going to sign in, and then you're going to find your convention code or whatever show you're going to be going to. And then this is what it kind of looks like. So the customer will pretty much do a lot of this on their own. You can use yourself as guidance. Otherwise, they're kind of on their own for ordering. So what they'll need to do is locate what brand they're looking for. So if they're looking for Horizons, all of Horizons will show up here, and then up here, you'll see Horizons was the brand. You can pick from grades, subjects, or if everything. So you've got your single subjects or other. So let's say they wanted first grade. You can narrow this down even more. They wanted math. And they want a full back set. The minute they click on it, it'll go over to the right side. And please ignore, I know that the discount is not working at this moment. We're still working out the glitches on, this is our test site. So it'll give you the 20% off code is here. It'll show you what they have put in their cart. It'll give you the discount they're saving and their total. So they can continue to change if they want Life Tech now. It's pretty, easy to go through and pick which one they want. I'm not sure why it's ticking. But this is our test site, so that's... Anyway, they can also start over completely here. Then they can go to checkout. I'm just going to go to our live site. Verizon. Okay, when they go to checkout, they'll ask for their email address, and they will put it in here, and it'll either have them sign up or log back in. I already currently have an account, so I'm going to log in. And then this is my shipping address, and that's correct. And so they'll go continue, and then it'll show that they get standard free shipping. If they'd like to upgrade to UPS or any of these other ones, it will give a price. And then you can go to payment, and you can pay with a credit card or pay by cash or check. Oh, I broke it. Okay. So you can add a payment method, and that's where they would add their payment, their credit card information here, and then save, and then they would get an actual email with the confirmation. If they hit pay by cash or check, and Todd is working on this right now, so this will be up by the time we're at convention. It'll prompt for your rep code. So you'll type in your rep code, take their cash from the cash bag or their check, and then you'll give them change, or they'll give you exact, and then you'll hit save, and it'll do the same thing like the credit card. It'll give them their email confirmation.
So when Todd's working on, will it say, see a rep? Because if they're doing it on
Yeah.
their phone, it'll say see a rep.
All right, let's go here. I think we're back up. Oh, sure. I'm also testing it, so I can pretty much tell them I broke it. So, pay by cash or check, continue, and it'll say in this red here, there's nothing more they can do, so it'll say, please ask a rep for assistance to pay by cash or check. So then you will be summoned over. They'll do the exchange with the total. Your total is right here. And then you're going to enter your rep code here. And then if they did give you a check, you can enter the check number there. If they did not give you a check, don't enter it. And then place my order.
Does it automatically calculate the 20% off then when they put in that convention code, or is the code already going to be in there?
So the code is already there based on the show that you picked in the beginning.
Gotcha.
When you set it up, you need to make sure that you click on yours, and that'll calculate the tax code and the convention. So let's say now you've been talking to somebody and they have a military or missionary discount. No longer do we have to go back to sales pad for that. Right here you go to, did you see where I found that? That little gear. Go back. So here's the gear. So before they place an order, go to the gear up here, change discount type, and it'll ask for military or missionary or regular convention, so don't change it unless it's military and missionary. And go ahead and click on that, and then enter your rep code, and then sign in. So once they order and hit save and check out, it'll automatically go back to your convention code. But let's say they told you they're gonna order for missionary. They're like, okay, this is what I want. Oh, I'm not ready just yet. If they don't check out, you have to go back and change it to the convention code. Otherwise, it'll just still be there for the next customer on the military or missionary. So you need to go back and change it. So as long as they check out, you're good. If they don't, we gotta go back in. Some other things on this part, the science kits, they do not get a convention discount at all. That comes from a separate vendor, so there are no discounts on science kits. So what I would suggest to do is to have them check out the science kit and then go back and order their convention order. Yeah, Earl?
And with those science kits also, we cannot offer free shipping.
Right. And that's all in here, but if they ever have other stuff and that science kit in there and they're wondering why it's charging for shipping or why it's not giving a discount, it's because they don't offer the convention discount or that free shipping. So do that separate. Okay. Yeah.
The system's not savvy enough to recognize when it's a blended order.
Right.
To still honor the non-science kit items.
It's on my wish list with Todd, but I don't know that it's ever.
We've already gone leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
past it.
That's a small thing.
Yeah, so just the science kits, no discount, no shipping. Just have them purchase that separate. The missionary, they have to be serving overseas in order for it to be. We don't check that, so just kind of use it as a honorary system. But that's
Someone might be back in country on.
right. As you're talking to them, you'll probably feel it out, if they're here or whatever. Any questions on this part of it?
No. Something kind of a general question.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that we're going to have the same rep code for the entire season.
Yes. Yep. And then once I have you guys, after training, after this week, I will send everybody their rep code, and it's just your rep code. So if you took cash, Earl, you would put in your rep code, and if there was an issue on the accounting side, they can see that Earl took $80 cash, but it's not there, or they took the check and they can't find it.
Never sent a collection.
Donna would
But
love
that's
that.
just, it holds you accountable so that they can not even that if it's not there, they have a question. Where it says, oh, this is for more than what the order was, or what's the deal, or, So SalesPad is our backup. We're only sending you one computer for SalesPad. So you still have to open SalesPad. Oh, let me get back to my PowerPoint here. So you still have to open SalesPad, and you have to load it every morning and get it ready, because if anything was to happen, we still have our backup. So there is somebody on each convention too that is aware of how to use SalesPad, but I'm not going to go through training this year on SalesPad, because fingers crossed, we never use it. I don't even want to think about it. Don't want to think about it, and I don't want to train on it. Too intense. Okay.
There are two order stations per.
No, there's only two computers being sent. One is for the Monarch demo, and one is a backup order station.
But the iPads have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's two of the iPad order stations. There'll be two per show. So you'll have two there.
So if it gets crazy busy and you need to use the computer, or if you would run into a problem, that's why the computer backup is there for
And
SalesPad.
I have all of the iPads loaded with the bookmarks for the website of AOP, our website for the convention, the order station, just those three. So it should all be there. If you have questions, I have some that we can play around with as well at my desk. But like I said, we're still testing some of this stuff, but it'll be able to roll out once we start our first convention in Fort Worth.
I was just gonna ask, I'm assuming those are touch screens, so that's.
Yep.
So a customer completes an order and they said, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but the order's already been processed. Can we go in and cancel it?
Nope.
So we would have to call back here and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
it was a problem.
Yeah.
Can we log into SalesPad and make any of the adjustments?
Or
That,
does that
I
have
mean,
to
it's
be
the
done
same
back
thing,
here?
if we called customer service from a show, they would do exactly what we know to do from a show.
If you know how to do that and you're allowed to do that, that's
Right.
fine. But you won't be at every show.
Right.
So, right, yeah. Unless you want to.
Sadly.
Unless you want to. But yes, if you have access, that's fine.
Okay.
But not everybody will know how to do that or have access to it. But if you do, yes, that's fine.
Yeah, if you have that secret badge of I'm the expert, go for it, but we're not all versed like you guys are.
Yeah. Tammy?
So, because they are iPads and they are touchscreen and they're about the height of a small child,
Mm-hmm.
I can see them coming up and just starting to poke around on them.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to lock them, or?
So they're,
Or is there an intent for them to do anything?
sure.
Shove panagrams, stickers in their face.
There you go.
So, right now, our goal, Todd is going to set it up as an app. I have taken everything, pretty much cleared an iPad from everything, but I know kids are smarter than probably me, so they can probably figure out how to get it back. Yes. The iPads are on at all times. I have it so that the screen doesn't go to sleep at all. But we're hoping that it just stays here. And then once, I think there's a certain amount of time, it'll reset itself and it'll go back to this main screen. But I don't have a locking system. They'd have to pay for, they can't go any further. They have to pay by credit card or by check. It won't let them go any further unless they have that access. But something that I did experience in Washington last year was Kelly and I were there and we were helping customers, we weren't paying attention, and the next thing I knew, I turned around and there was kids on the Monarch demo station with the mouse and the keyboard, and they had gotten onto the internet and they were playing some game, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So it happened. I just have to kind of shoo them away and go back to their mom and dad. But yeah, there's nothing you can kind of do. I don't have a locking system, just tell them to get out of there.
I got something makes a very loud noise when they.
Yeah, I should.
Flashing lights.
Just like a bullhorn or something. Any other questions about, I know I kind of breezed through it, but I'm hoping the customers can access it themselves, they can walk through it themselves. But I can definitely give you guys access to an iPad to play around with it too if you want.
Amy,
But, yeah.
you may have mentioned this, the receipts, will they just go to their email like they did before? Or?
Yes. Yep. So once they type in their email address to log in, it'll automatically get sent to the email that they signed up for.
Go same with cash.
Yep. Yep.
And will you include like green wipes, maybe just some wet wipes to clean screens with? That may be.
Oh, yes. I hate fingerprints and germs. So yes, there's a whole box of wipes for the TV and the station.
And how big is the iPad?
Normal size? I don't know what it is. Yeah. It's a 9.7.
Is it? They make 12.9. I mean, they make sizes now. I just thought it'd be nice to have it possible.
It would be what?
It would be nice to have as big, because they make them 12.9 now, and every size.
No,
So,
Yep, it's just handheld.
Yeah. The smaller tablet size.
thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay. So another thing that we have been doing incorrectly, and I just found out last year that we've been doing it incorrectly. So I want to make sure that I relay this year. Tax exempt, if a customer comes in, and we barely have this, maybe 1 or 2 a year, but I want to make sure that everybody's aware that if a customer comes in and states they are tax exempt, we cannot take their order during the show. They need to send the form to our accounting department, and after accounting reviews it and has received it, accounting will let customer service know that this has come in, and then they can place the order. But no orders can be taken until after the form has been sent to accounting. Easy, simple. No tax exempt at the shows, but we can send it down to accounting and they'll review it from there.
Where can the customers get the form?
They, how do they get it? I don't even know. They'll know. If they're tax exempt, they'll have that form.
I had somebody show us a piece of paper last
So
year.
they generally have the form with them already.
Yep, and usually it's Minnesota that I get one from. So, like I said, just tell them you can take it and give it to accounting, but we can't take an order until accounting has verified that they are tax exempt, because anybody can give you a piece of paper and say they're tax exempt. So, all right, so the Monarch demo station, if you're not doing a demo, you'll put the video loop on, you'll hit input, the instructions in the binder as well, but you'll hit input on the TV remote and change it over. And this is so that there's something always playing if you're not by the station. Then some of the Monarch counters will have all of them will have the free take one boxes sitting right next to it. Keep these on the TV stands. Don't scatter them all about the booth. They have to stay here. Remember, Monarch is the first thing your customers want to see, and that direction flow of the customers. So I have made kind of a demo of a basic demo of, I've got to find it back, what you should do when giving a demo.
Demo.
Here's a demo. Ugh, I hate my voice, so please enjoy.
Hey guys, this is going to be a Monarch demo outline that you can do with a while you're talking to a parent or a teacher and the student that are interested in the Monarch. What you can do is before the convention starts, while you're setting up, get your Monarch demo station ready by opening the teacher side and the student side and using two separate web browsers that you can work at the same time. So they'll receive the word again so that you can see how it was misspelled, and then it gives it to you correctly. So scrolling down the page, you'll see the text to read. You can highlight here and hit this button over here, and it'll read it for you.
Not when you're recording.
So Monarch,
It's gonna keep read and reviewed.
sure. Okay. So text to read, which also can be read to you with different forms of multimedia. This allows the student to read what they need to, and they also learn from relatively short videos, audio clips, slideshows, interactive games, and all different types of multimedia to help your students learn better when they're reading. So not all of them will have a video, but some of them will have a video or a web link. This one has some colorful pictures to follow along. So it depends on what lesson you're in. So scrolling down the page, you'll see there's more text to read. This one's a little bit of a shorter lesson. And then at the end, they will answer the questions about the materials that they went over. So about 85% of the questions are graded automatically. This is done by clicking the submit your answer button. So if we go here and answer the question, and I'm doing it correctly, so just hang on, I just said it's wrong.
Sure.
So if I submit answer here, it'll tell me that I have it incorrect, but I have 2 more attempts remaining. The default is 3, but you can change that at any time you desire throughout the year to encourage your student to take advantage of the learning opportunity. So if they go back, change this to the correct answer, and submit answer, they'll see that they got a green check. So we have 1 attempt remaining, and then if we want to go ahead and mark this complete, we'll finish out here second. And you can also skip questions and give a reason why. And then on the teacher side, it'll tell you why they skipped it as well. So we'll go ahead and mark our lesson complete, and it says we haven't finished everything, but we're going to go ahead and it'll give you your feedback right away. Either completed your lesson or failed it, so we're going to return back to the assignment. So the student will complete lessons for about 2 to if there's more detailed, lesson or training for Monarch on the website that you can check out that Charlene did for us. But otherwise, we're just looking to give the customer kind of just a brief overview of how awesome Monarch is, what Monarch can do for the teacher that's easy for them, and that the student can have fun doing lessons. It's not just all reading, they can play some games, they can look at some of the links or watch some of the short videos and then work on their own assignments. So yeah, just kind of show them all these awesome things. You can get more in depth if you want. Some of us know a lot more about Monarch, some of us know just the basics. But like I said, if you want the customer to get more into detail and they're very interested, definitely tell them about the Monarch 30-day free trial, and then they can play around with it and put in their students. And they don't have to enter a credit card to start this free trial. So, yeah, just tell them more about it. And if you have more questions, just let me know. Otherwise, this is the brief overview of the Monarch demo.
Nicely done.
All right, any questions so far? Yeah.
Will the Switched-On Schoolhouse demo be included with that as well?
No. We're trying to get away from SOS and focus more on Monarch. So we don't have any SOS loaded on the TV or the computer, on the computer at all. So SOS is not available for demo, just Monarch.
Also, something to keep in mind, or you haven't covered, or we're going to cover what's in the Monarch free trial box?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't have it listed.
Okay. So just real quick, the card, there's a card and a small booklet inside the box. So the booklet will literally tell them how to sign up, just like 8 steps or something like this is the screen you're going to see, this is how to do it. And then another card that has the specific convention code that we want them to use so that we can track how many free trials we get or signups we get from these boxes. So it's meant to be like, here you go, you take it, it's tangible, and it has all the info you need to get going.
So is the code inside the box for all of them?
Yeah.
Amy?
Yeah.
A Switched-On Schoolhouse topic that created, 2.5 seconds of silence. Just curious, what is the company desire for us? I mean, if people, so we don't, it's not an option. I mean, it is an option, but, there used to be use it for 5 students compared to, blah, blah, blah. So does the company desire us really not to do that anymore unless they just don't have internet, basically? Is that the only reason we'd ever bring up Switched-On?
Yeah, so Switched-On is still available. They can still purchase it, and it's no longer on the CD-ROM. It's with the USB. But the only time customers really desire it is because of internet, correct? Or just based off of old family size?
Time will tell. I'm not going to dictate what this year brings based on the past 20 years, but
Yeah.
interesting. But in the past, there has been that comparison between, being able to reuse it in the future for up to 5 students, that kind of thing. So if that's not presented to them, then they probably obviously won't care. So the internet would be the only reason.
I assume you guys use those same reasons on the phone.
Right, it's kind of the same reasons for internet and reusability. I think like in conventions like in Oklahoma, a lot of those have strong internet connections, and so they were asking about Switched-On a lot last year for that reason. But you're right, so the content hasn't been updated, so it looks outdated, but it is those 2 reasons would be why somebody would still look at it.
Yeah,
And-
it's not that we're hiding it, it's
Right.
that we're not making a demo of it.
We're just not doing a demo. You can still buy it and they can still, purchase it, but we're just not demoing Switch on Schoolhouse.
Yep, the new catalogs will still have all the
Yeah.
information about the courses in it.
Our demo station is just a Monarch demo station. But yeah, it doesn't mean you can't sell Switched on Schoolhouse. We just don't have a lot of people who know the demos of Switched on Schoolhouse, and not that we're not going to train them, it's just never updated, and it's just,
So it's not on the computers anymore with it, okay.
If you find that you're getting a lot of requests for it, then let me know and we can reassess how to get SOS demos done. But this year we didn't put them on the computers, so.
We usually recommend the YouTube channel if they want to see what they look like.
Oh, sure. That would work too, yeah. Any other questions?
I just represent as they want representative. I'd like clarification at some point. I mean, based on sales, usually ask questions. Do you have Windows? Do you have Mac? How many students do you have? In order to point them in the right direction. So if the company only wants one direction now, that's fine. Just need to know so I do the right thing when I'm at the show,
Yeah, John Ross, this is Carrie. It's not that we want one direction, it's just happening, and we're not spending as much money on the, long-term life of SOS, but we're still making it available because there are legitimate reasons people still want it. So, like I said, we're not hiding it, it's still available, the product catalog has it in there. We're just making more of Monarch instead of, what we found was sometimes the Switched on demos stayed up, and so what we're wanting to do is move people to Monarch, and
Sure.
then the TV that didn't have Switched on it, none of us would notice, and, that's a small example, but, so we're just not going to worry about having both products demo level.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can still ask all those questions that you were talking about. That's perfectly normal.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, why don't we take about a 10-minute break and move on to logistics. There's donuts up here too if you guys want. If this time, if you want to look at the shirts, the gray shirts, you're welcome to go try them on. They're the exact same as the blue, just a different color. And then the blue ones, you are welcome to take and keep if you would like. So we'll come back about 10 after 10.
Still getting t-shirts.
Yes, 2 of the gray. Take 2 of the gray. And I know we're short on some sizes, so just write that down. If I'm missing your size, we do need to make another order. When I sent out for some of the reps, some of the shirts. And then just make sure you mark down if you take one. Yep.
That's okay.
Yep, just take a blue. Blue is free. Take as many as you want.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about our convention logistics. Uniform, black pants AOP shirt, the gray ones, and black shoes. No, I do not have the dress code on today because I have jeans on, so please don't think this is the dress code. Black tennis shoes may be worn, but try to do all black and not some crazy colors or, you know, more white than black. Make sure they're comfortable because we are on our feet for a long period of time, so make sure they are comfortable. Inserts are suggested. And then when it comes to compensation, hourly employees, make sure you turn your timesheets in to your manager on Monday after you return. And then managers will answer any specific questions about your timesheets or how they want it done. Check with your manager on that process. And then salaried employees, you will receive 8 hours of PTO time after you attend any show. Petty cash, you will get $300, and it gets mailed out to contractors and deposited to employees from accounting with the same account that you use for your paycheck. If you need to change any of that or have questions about that, direct that towards accounting. And then there's going to be no deposit for company card holders unless you're a lead, and we have lead training, and we'll go through that later. You can handle your petty cash however you feel comfortable. Keep the full amount deposited, or you can cash all of it, cash half of it. You kind of decide what you feel comfortable for cash-wise, or just using your debit card or credit card. A lead will have a cash bag, and that'll be used for customer cash. Make sure that you turn in all receipts, no exceptions, all receipts, and they must include the name, address of the restaurant or wherever you're getting your item from. And then if you're paying for more than yourself, they also need to include the name of the people you're paying for. And so the expense reports are due 2 weeks after you return. So when the company gives you petty cash, the $300, you will need to turn around and return what is left of that. You'll have to do an expense report with your receipts, and that accounts for all the money that you used. Make sure that you wait to write a check wait before you write a check or get a money order until it has been reviewed by myself. You'll need to turn back in the unused money with a personal check or a money order payable to Glenn Lyons. If you give me cash, it's mine. I do not turn it over. It's mine. So make sure it's a personal check or a money order. Concur users, if you're a Concur user, you'll know you are. I will provide a separate expense spreadsheet for that, and this is completely separate from your Concur reports. This is for me, not for Concur or accounting. So this is what an expense report looks like, and I'll email it to everybody once your show is up or before it begins. So everything needs to be filled in. I'm happy to help with any questions. Hotels and flights are typically covered under my company card unless it came out of petty cash. Please don't list it there. Sometimes people write in what their hotel total was. You don't need to. I'll take care of it on my end. This is exactly what you paid for. Accounting is going through it in detail. And last year, I let a lot of it go by because I didn't tell everybody what accounting is looking for. So I had to tell accounting that I'm sorry I didn't specifically tell them that. So this year, everything has to be done according to accounting's wishes and checklists. So you have to make sure that you fill out your name, the date, the business purpose, the show that you attended, the dates of the expenses. If you drove, you write your mileage and the mileage sheet, and that's on the separate tab, and when I send it, you'll see it. I need full addresses to and from, along with the dates that are traveled. Last year, I filled in a lot of this for everybody, but to help me and to help accounting, I need all of this filled out in detail. I'll start sending it back, to have everybody else do it. So, the receipts, it's the cash line on the report, in the correct groupings, under the correct dates. So, if it's for Monday, it needs to be under Monday, breakfast. Only list anything you paid with that petty cash. That doesn't mean just cash, it means whatever you use that $300 for. The time frame listed on your receipt should line up with breakfast, lunch, or dinner, not what you might have considered as your meal. So if you had something at 2 o'clock and you considered that your breakfast, because you haven't had breakfast until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you should put it under lunch and not breakfast because you considered it breakfast. It should be lunch. So, coffee, drinks, and snacks fall under breakfast, or fall into breakfast, lunch, or dinner slots, not miscellaneous charges. So whatever time just falls in there. If you paid for somebody else, ran to Starbucks and grabbed coffee for the whole team, just make sure you write down who you bought it for. And you need those names listed on there. Cash advance is given, how much I gave you. So if it was $300 or $400, it needs to go here in this little purple guy. And then I also need your signature. Any questions? This is detailed out too on the website, but also I'll send it back if it's not there. Because accounting sends it back to me, and then I just have been doing it for everybody. So now I'm going to make everybody be held accountable this time. So expenses not allowed. Personal entertainment, recreation, gifts, personal items, in-room or in-flight movies, internet, sightseeing, theaters, golf, alcoholic beverages, if you choose to, that's fine as long as you're over 21. But just have them write it on or put it on a separate receipt and pay for it out of your own pocket, and then we'll pay for your meal. Also not allowed is gum, mints, and personal hygiene items. I do have gum and, no, I don't have gum, no gum. I have mints on the pallet, so there is some for everybody. Personal services, pet care, babysitting, house sitting, maintenance, haircuts, shoe shines, health and fitness clubs. I'm not sure why we're going to any of those while we're at conventions, but please don't do it. Or at least we're not paying for it.
If the hotel has, internet for purchase only and you're a lead and you wanna put.
That's a good question.
So, yes and no. We do have the MiFi, so take those back. But if it's a Saturday evening, that's fine because you have to put the MiFi back. But use the MiFi until you can't use the MiFi.
And if you have to do data entry Saturday night, we can purchase internet
If needed.
avoid
But-
if possible.
Yeah, but just make sure then you account for it.
Right.
Or at least charge it to the room and let me know so I know so I can
Expect it.
expect it. If you have a company phone, use that as your internet. But yeah. Okay, so behave in the way that represents Alpha Omega Publications well and in the manner that is not offensive to our customers and market. Something else to kind of remember is that when you're in the booth and maybe there's no customers in your booth at the time and you're chit-chatting with some of your reps, just make sure that there might be other customers around you that you don't see that can hear some of this stuff. So keep some of the personal stuff or politics, maybe for your meal later, but just remember there are still ears, and so some of your conversations other customers might be able to hear. Make sure that you make your flight and do not cancel your attendance to the show after a ticket has been booked. While conventions are a great time to get to know each other, to travel and meet our customers, please remember you are there to work a convention. Conventions can be long and tiring. Be sure to get adequate sleep and make wise decisions on how to spend available free time. Clubbing Might have to wait till you get home. Just saying. Remember that no matter what your job role is here or in the office, you are a salesperson at the convention. So I know that it's hard to leave what you do here and go do something different. Teachers, you know, marketing, customer service is kind of the same, but just you're there for the convention. No use of tobacco products of any kind, electronic or other cigarette alternatives while in convention uniform. If you need to go outside and have a smoke, just make sure you put a sweater or a cardigan over top and use perfume when you come back in. No drinking while in convention uniform or during working hours. Same thing, just make sure our name is not out there while you're doing them. No illegal drug is allowed, even if you're attending a show in the state where it is legal while attending a convention.
What if I went to Colorado for that reason? I'm kidding.
I know that there are more states than just Colorado. Please refrain from any illegal drug usage at all the time, if you do. No visible tattoos while in convention uniform. Cover with a cardigan or a wrap or a bandage. If you have any questions, you can ask me on how to cover your tattoos. No visible piercings besides lady ear piercings. That includes nose, lips, eyebrow, any other visible. Traveling and wanting to stay longer or travel before the show, please let me know so that I can book accordingly, and then we can talk once you tell me what your plans are. You are responsible for your hotel and all expenses during your personal time, and make sure that you get it approved by your manager as well. Free time is a great time to see the sites, but those things done during the free time are paid out of your own pocket and not from petty cash. There's a museum entrance fee or something like that. Again, it falls under that. We don't pay for that kind of stuff. We'll still pay for your meals, just not sightseeing that costs something. Any questions so far about logistics? Great. What do we do during our convention? So your rep duties before you travel, like I said, we'll do a pre-convention meeting about a week before, and it'll go through the details of your specific show. You'll know who's there, you'll get everybody's phone numbers. Then we'll also talk about flight times. When is your flight and what time do you need to be at the airport? Carpool with other local reps. And then carry-on bags are preferred instead of checked luggage. If you prefer checked, just let me know so that I can go through what happens if your luggage gets lost, just to give you a basic. Petty cash. Contractors will receive their check in the mail, and employees will have it deposited in the same account as your paycheck. We talked about it kind of. You can choose what to do with your cash or keep it deposited in your checking account or credit card. So when you land, your lead will pick you up in the airport, or you will take a Uber, Lyft, or cab to your hotel. We'd like to move away from rental cars to help save. A lot of times we've been paying for rental cars to just sit at the hotel and not be used until we get taken back to the airport. So it's kind of a show-by-show basis. I know Washington, we have to drive 45 minutes to our hotel. Obviously, we will get a rental car for some locations, but not all of them. Meals, decide as a group before you go on where you'd like to eat. The per diem is $40 a day. Please stay as close as possible. These are guidelines, not a challenge on both ways to see if I can reach my $10 breakfast or I can't have anything because I can't buy anything under $10, you know. So tipping is no more than 20%, and I suggest meals be 10, 10, and 20. Like I said, it's just a guideline. We don't want you to starve, but yet we don't want you to go buy steak and lobsters because you have $40 to spend and you didn't eat anything all day. So, with the hotel, the credit card authorization will be sent ahead of your stay to charge my card, the company card. You might be asked for one for incidentals. Any issues, contact your lead or myself. And so, setup time, make sure that you wear jeans and a t-shirt when setting up and extra clothes if we have time to take down so you can go change. It gets dusty and dirty with those boxes, and you typically sweat when you're setting up. There's a lot of hard work. And then the vendor hall check-in. Designate a time as a group when you want to start setting up. Your lead will check us in to the venue. Name badges typically are handed out at each of the conventions. Please wear those when you go into the vendor hall. Most of the time they're your ticket in. There are times you have to turn them back in after the show. Your lead will grab them for you. Any questions or need help with anything, you can talk to the vendor hall at the check-in table. And then make sure that you take pictures of our booth setup and other companies' booths. This is a lead duty, but you can also help remind them of this or take them yourself. And then also take pictures of the cubes with the stickers, and you'll send them back to me, whether text message or email. So something new this year is snacks and water. We used to have the lead just go pick them up. This year, we're going to gather our own snacks. It's about a $10 budget. We understand everybody has their own tastes and allergies, so please get what you enjoy for snacks. This will be for your weekend, so if you want to go to Hy-Vee before you leave and grab a box of granola bars and stash it in your luggage, that works. Water can be purchased as a group or individual. If there is a place nearby, cases are always cheaper, but I understand some of the cities don't have a place that's close by that you can just grab a case, but if there is, please just grab a case and share with everybody. You want to make sure to arrive at the show open a half an hour before. We're going to start the computers, get the demo started, check the internet, restock and vacuum. Breaks and lunches can you work together to take those breaks. Everyone should be able to go in shifts and not together so that we stagger our breaks. And then at the end of the day, you're going to clean up your booth, put the laptops and iPads under the tables. And I should say there is a lock to the iPad stand, so somebody can't just walk off with the iPad. It is locked in the stand itself, and there's keys in the binder and stuff for those. Pick up any trash, organize the booth for the next day. You're going to do an inventory check. The leads will get a list of stuff to make sure that if we need more of or something's damaged that I can send, catalogs, damaged books, missing items, dirty things, stuff like that. Kind of just do an inventory check and then fill what needs to be filled. So at the end of the convention, the lead is going to check out of the venue. They'll probably return the name badges and make sure you say thank you, and then check with others on the attendance leads, and that's more of a lead duty, but also again, let's all just help each other out so that it relieves stress on some of those leads, trying to remember everything I'm asking of them. And then the bill of lading and shipping stickers, the bill will have these. And then if you ever find that the warehouse that gave you the pellets are damaged, please return them and ask for new, because that will help ship to the next location so it doesn't fall apart. And then there's orange stickers, and then put them on 2 to 4 sides of the pallet. It's located in the supply box. The pallet binder or the lead will have some in there as well. And then the end of the show, an inventory report. Again, the lead has to fill this out and tell me what I need to send to the next show to make sure that they have the adequate materials. And remember that your pallet might be the next pallet that you go to, the next show you go to. So it kind of floats all over the United States. So you might end up with the one that you packaged yourself at your next show too. So you want to make sure that we have enough of the stuff so that when you show up or your reps show up, that they have the materials that they need. And then when it's time to leave, we're going to check everyone's departure schedule, make sure that if you're leaving around the same time, you can work together and share a cab or Uber to the airport to save. And if your airport or if your hotel has a shuttle, to use that as well. And then just a few more things. 2020, if you do not have a star on your driver's license, you will not be able to fly. I also need to go get a star because in 2020, the airport security will not allow you to go through security without a star. That's for everybody, no matter what state. So just remember, and in order to get the star, this is why I'm hesitating because I can't find my documents. I need a birth certificate. I can't find it. I need my marriage certificate. Can't find it. And then I also need a piece of mail or something with my address on it. And I feel like there's something else. But you got to look it up what they are requiring you to have in order to get that. And that gives you clearance in all federal buildings as well. If you choose not to fly, you don't need the star. But if you want to go to conventions, any state, I need you to have the star in 2020. Okay. So I also have that website that I sent out to everybody. And I gotta find it back. So it looks like this. Anything that you guys have for questions, I'm gonna try to get it out here. The schedule is here. Fort Worth, Texas, all your information that I have so far, I will keep updating as I get more information. It gives you the convention center, it gives you the exhibitor hours, it gives you what hotel we're in. A lot of this is here for if you want to just check on your phone when you get to the convention. I've got the layouts and how to set up the tables and every show. But once I get more information, I will start plugging it in there and sending it. We also have a training tab, and that has everything we used to have in the Google Docs as well. It has your Life Pack, your Monarch, your Horizons SOS, AOA, order entry in the sales pad. I'll put the recording from today in here, and then also the iPad ordering station and booth details. It's got everything. So even if you have it on your phone, you've got it there that you can use. Yeah, so I'm trying to get it all in one spot for everybody as well. I do have some openings still on my schedule, so if you want to check it out and see if you can fill some of those empty spots, let your manager and myself know, and we can work together in maybe filling some of those spots. No guarantees. We're trying to make sure that everybody, that we have the best, combination of homeschool, a teacher, a newbie, a contractor, so that everybody's kind of a good team, a good fit. But yeah, let me know. So hold on, let me see if somebody wants. Oh, thank you, Charlene. Okay, so last year I started this, and it was just a fun challenge while you're at a convention and traveling. Last year was ugly carpet as you're traveling. Just send me a picture of this ugly carpet that you saw. Abby, which one was it? Lancaster. You guys won last year. There are prizes. So this year's challenge is fun or funny signs. And it can't be ones that you made yourself and then hung up on a wall and took a picture and then I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. No, I want anything that you've seen at the airport or at your convention or your hotel, and then once you come back, then it stops. and you're gonna work as a team, so it's gonna be a full team, and send me the pictures that you see, and then at the end of the season, we'll have everybody vote on it, and whoever wins, that team will receive a prize, and last year's prize was awesome, was it not? Yep, see? I'm not gonna tell you, because I can't guarantee you the same thing. But yeah, not in the office, only at the hotel, airport, or the show, or a restaurant. Just some weird sign that you saw, you know, just send me a picture.
Can I use one from last year?
No. If you're going to the same convention and see that same sign again, no?
Darn.
All right, that's it. Any questions? That's pretty basic.
This might be kind of a silly question, but on the tips, do we go by the pre-tax total? When we're doing a tip, or do you want us to go on the,
I think,
the total?
I think it's on the total,
Okay,
yeah.
I know sometimes there's some question about how you should tip.
Yep, I think it is at your ending total and then 20%.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. If not, I'll send accounting your way that will give you a reminder that 20% is the maximum tip. Anybody else? If you have other questions that you don't want to say out loud here, you can message me and I'd be happy to help answer any questions. But that's it. We're done about a half an hour early. Woo! Thank you, guys.